Hey guys, we thought we'd do a little question and answer for some of you dudes, since it was interesting for somebody, right?
Yeah.
I say this, you guys really think I care about what's on his internet? Seriously, some of you need a sense of humor, massively. Like, nobody gives a crap. Anyways.
Guys, I think I'm smarter than that too.
Whatever. I've seen all of it. Nobody gives a crap.
She just looks over my shoulder.
Whatever. That's not true.
With binoculars.
Oh my god! Would you shut up? None of that is true. What are you even talking about?
Anyway, so what do we want to talk about?
Some of the guys were confused about what I was talking about the establishing boundaries with your family. So,
right. Okay. Well, here's how it works. We all know Asian parents can be overbearing, or maybe the stereotype is they can be overbearing. So what they will do is they will push your boundaries. They'll make you do things that they want you to do for their own benefit, not for your own. So that's what she means by making sure you understand that. It's hard to break out of that because we're used to, yes, mom, yes, dad, we'll do this, we'll do that. Yes, I will be an engineer. Yes, this and that. You know what I mean? But you do have to understand that at some point it becomes a selfish thing, and to really draw the line and recognize that, and to get ready to bail. What I mean by that is just sending a message. Obviously, I don't mean, changing your last name to Smith or something like that,
That's messed up.
But it's just sending the message that I know what you're doing and don't do it anymore, okay? And if you keep on doing it, then there's going to be some more consequences for it. So that might mean having to leave dinner early. I know, that's the scarlet letter. I understand that. But, some of the things that can be hard is the English barrier when obviously we all like to speak in our native tongues, or their native tongues, I should say, and to draw a boundary on that and make sure that it is rude to not be able to include everybody in the room in the conversation, no matter where you are. You got to at least give an attempt to do that kind of thing, or at least try to translate every other phrase for them. But that can get very tiring as well too, and hard to keep up. So that's going to be what I would, how I would color that comment to give whoever had that question a little bit more detail around what that means.
I was going to ask you though too. So some of the things that I've experienced, I feel like some of the guys, either their parents are maybe not as conservative as yours are, and maybe they won't have as many problems as we have had. But I think some of what I've experienced has not been cultural. Is that true?
Yeah, I would say so. It's really easy to pull the cultural card, but we all know that culture can be used for a lot of bad behavior as well.
I was asked to kowtow at one point, and I mean the old meaning of that, where you have to get on your hands and knees and put your forehead on the floor and bow up and down. And I was asked to recite things, to beg for forgiveness for asking them not to call me and my mother names. And it was a bad day for us. I mean, we'd been together for 3 years, I think, at that point.
Yeah, I think so.
They were trying to prevent us from getting married, and yeah, it was confusing for both of us because we didn't really know what we were supposed to be doing. We just kind of wanted to appease them in a lot of ways. And what that did over time, and you have to remember we've been together for 12 years now, is that caused problems with us, right? Because I was being degraded like every week for 3 years, being called names, being told things that were not appropriate. And, he was like a 25-year-old guy. So this is like, he was just kind of like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. And honestly, that's not a cultural thing either. A lot of young men wouldn't know what to do, right?
Yeah, the struggle is real, and that's when people say, it's where you have to put your money where your mouth is. When you say you put your girlfriend and your spouse or your fiance above everybody else, that's where it becomes hard. it's real easy to put that person in front of the guy at the gas station, you know, the guy you work with, this and that, blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
But it gets really torn when it becomes close to home and who you have to start ranking.
Yeah.
But that's part of growing up, and that's part of being who you are. You know?
And part of the problem is too is that if you don't treat the girl you're dating like a wife, she won't want to become your wife because she'll be being disrespected, and it's a tough situation. So that's why at the end of the last video, or at the end of the video about dating white women, I told you guys good luck, because it's been really hard. I mean, we've had to fight with his parents about not taking our firstborn for the first year to raise him in a different town and only see him on the weekends. Those kinds of things, while they may be cultural, my Asian friends don't do it. And, I remember being in labor with my second son and going to the hospital arguing with his mother on the way that no, she can't come and collect my oldest son and take him. And those kinds of things, that there is a cultural element, and then there's also a bit of it that is just you're overstepping boundaries.
Right.
I think, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, all of those things were very painful to our relationship, and they still are. And it's one of those things where life kind of deals you a hand sometimes, and you got to deal with it. Yeah. Obviously, it's not something I asked for. It's something I have to deal with. So every relationship's got its issues, and every relationship has its problems. And that's when you have to understand that when you're dating, what it means to you. If it's something serious, then make it serious, and if it's not, then just be upfront about it.
Yeah, that's actually really good advice. That's really good advice, because if you treat somebody, that's the thing, is if you're with a woman and who's extraordinary to you, like obviously it's different for every person, but if you treat that girl like she's ordinary, then eventually she'll get sick of it and she'll go away and she won't ever talk to you again. And that's like very dramatic, but it's also true. I mean, you have to choose. You've got to decide what that person means to you. And that's actually a really difficult thing to do, right? Because in Asian families, you're taught that family is everything, right?
Yeah, I think that's in a lot of families, actually. A lot of, I guess, even cultures, ethnicities, whatever you want to call it. Right. Hispanics, I know, are very family-centric, and, you insult the family, then the mafia comes after you, right? I think Italians portrayed the same way, that kind of thing. And, if that's going to be a problem for you, then understand what it is. And, stop watching this video, because this ain't for you. Then, but if you're sick of that and that's not what you want to be like, then make your own life, make your own path for yourself. That's what liberty is all about.
Like this Davy Crockett user that I just blocked. Guys like you, who you're afraid of feminazis, man, you need to tighten up your game. You need to tighten up, bro. I mean, my husband's not afraid of being with me, and he's not. I mean, I'm not feminaziing over here, am I?
No, I'm actually a feminist myself here.
He wants me to be a feminazi. In fact, all the time he's like, "Dude, I want to quit my job," and I'm like, "Okay, fine, I'll go back to work." He wants to be a stay-at-home dad. What do you think about that? Feminazi on that.
I want to be the dad of the new millennium. I want to be the household of the new millennium. I can sit here and work out all day, cook dinner, work.
Oh yeah, that's what I do. I work out all day.
Well, that's the portrayal. I know you don't.
I mean,
I know you don't.
It's hard for me to get a workout in. Yeah. It's really hard. But yeah, for sure. I mean, I try, but my God.
Right. You did good, by the way.
Whatever. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm trying.
So.
Look, I got a little muscle right there.
Yeah,
pop,
look at that.
Pop.
She looks great.
Oh.
Look at that. Goodness gracious.
Shut up. Oh my God, we are such dorks. Why are you guys listening to us anyways, huh? Who's nerdier, me or you?
Probably you, because you like space more.
Whatever.
I shoot guns, obviously.
Oh my God, guns and ammo. Guns and ammo.
I hunt and fish.
Can I get some Duff beer, anybody?
Yeah. No, I'm just kidding.
You don't hunt and fish. You are so full of it. You are so full. You know what it is? You know what his problem is, you guys? Is that he shows up places and is just good at stuff. And it's really annoying, right? Because I take him back home. I'm from Oregon. And like, I don't want to ski and stuff. I'm not really good at that kind of stuff. So I take him up to the mountain and I'm like, you know, trying to show him the way Oregon is. There's a lot of snowboarders and skiers out there. And I'm like, I get him up on the mountain and he gets some skis and he snowboards too, right? Or he never had before. Intermediate for both skiing and snowboarding. I just waited down at the bottom for him.
Oh, I had fun. It was great.
Yeah, I'm glad.
Yeah. Well, I come from a long line of warriors.
That's right. Oh my God. I want to tell him the story.
Yes, yeah.
You guys, okay.
We already breached the Pornhub boundary, so yeah. Know your own boundaries. Obviously, I'm not sure if Pornhub is my boundary or not. I didn't think it was before, but now reading some of your comments, maybe we shouldn't have gone to that level yet.
Yeah,
but,
you don't feel that comfortable with those guys yet?
Those
guys are on Pornhub too. Don't let them fool you.
Yeah, hopefully I'm not watching y'all, though.
Huh? What happened? I'm not watching you either. Nobody cares, dude.
No.
Oh, wait, what?
She doesn't understand my jokes on there. You said those guys are on Pornhub, as in on it, with their own videos on there.
That's
I'm hoping I'm not watching
that. Is not what I meant.
Yeah. Sometimes my humor goes over people's heads. Yeah.
Sometimes my humor goes over his head. Do you know, some people think I'm funny because you know what? I am, bitches. But this guy had spent the first 2 years of our relationship together explaining to people that I was telling a joke. Man, you don't have to cover for me. I got this. And shut your mouth. You're too funny. Okay, so, anything else? I was going to tell him about the story.
Sure, go ahead.
For reals?
Yeah.
Okay. So I had to have surgery. I have endometriosis. Just Google it. It's this crappy condition or whatever. I had to get surgery on all of my organs except for my heart and lungs and my right kidney. So those 3 things. It made it really hard for me to have kids. So we thought we would try to do IVF. And when you do that, they have to like count your sperm. I mean, they have to make sure your sperm's okay, right? To make sure you're not the prob. So this guy goes and does his thing, gives him a sperm sample, right? It comes back that he has like twice the amount of sperm that a regular man has, right? So he's like walking through the hospital like this. He's like, we get up to the doctor's office. Doctor's like fist bump. He's like, what up, dude? He's an Asian dude. He was an Indian guy. He was amazing. He was my surgeon. And he was like, what up, brother? Boom, right?
He was more like, damn, give me some of
damn,
that.
Damn, son.
And hey, my virility is off the charts. What can I say?
Walk around the hospital like this.
Yeah.
I also want to let you guys know that I will rant about whatever the hell I want to rant about. And at any time, if you don't want to watch, go somewhere else, because I don't care. I think we covered that, though, that I don't care.
I think it's pretty clear that you don't care, yeah.
I always get the same people on there. They're like, you're obviously this horrible, aggressive white woman. Oh my God, white women are horrible. They're making everybody miserable, But it's the same person that comes back to the next video. Dude, you need to find somebody else to stalk. That's weird. Who stalks somebody just to tell them that they don't like them? I think we covered it. You're really good.
Yeah.
You're so smart.
Really?
Yeah.
Does that make you horny?
Oh my God. I'm taking that out.
You are?
Yes. Stop. I'm taking this out of the video. This is not Pornhub. Stop. This is not Pornhub. Oh my God.
I like this.
Yeah, I got you.
I think I just want to be like, do rapid fire, like read the mean ones and be like, you're a dick. What's next? Read the next one. What does it say? Is your husband the first Asian man you ever dated? No, he's not. Does this count? That I dated a half Japanese, half white guy when I was super young. It wasn't really dating though. I was only 13 years old. We passed notes at school. And then he ended up kissing my best friend, who's still my best friend. But I broke up with him. You know who you are. Just kidding, I'm not. And then I was talking to an Asian dude who was an asshole before I met my husband. So if he had been a nicer person, then maybe my children would be learning Hangul right now. But he wasn't. He was a dick. Plus, I was married to a white woman and only dated white women because I'm attracted to them. The different culture does play a role in the relationship. Everything you have said about it, Anna Marie, is so true, even down to the mother-in-law situation. It is. So I suppose it would make it easier if you married somebody of your own ethnicity. Although I think in our situation, I've talked to some of my Asian friends, and none of them would have been willing to give up their children or be demeaned in the ways that I have. So I don't think that they would stand for it, but they may not have been treated like that if they were Asian too, right?
Right.
Okay, well.
Must disagree. Daniel Goldman wrong. Emotional intelligence way overrated.
Yeah, this guy's
Okay.
divorced for sure.
I don't think emotional intelligence is way overrated. I think it's way underrated. I think that everyone took so much heat into IQ, which really actually doesn't mean a whole lot to me. I know a lot of high IQ guys who can't put together a Lego set if the instructions aren't crystal clear. There's no intuition with their IQ. So essentially some people with high IQs take a test and retake the test and take another test and get another test and get somebody else to tell them that they do have high IQs, and that's how they get their high IQ. So I think being emotionally intelligent is something that's very underrated and overlooked, and I think that any leadership forum is actually focusing more on emotional intelligence now, management courses and those kinds of things, because it is something that has been overlooked. And IQ can't solve all problems. The harder problems to solve actually don't require a high IQ necessarily. They require a high EQ. Solving math is IQ related. Solving relationships is EQ related. And anybody will tell you when you lead a company, go to work, etc., the relationship issues and cultural issues are the harder ones to solve.
You guys, obviously you don't know much about my husband's background and you don't know what he does and stuff, and I'm not going to give that away, but when it comes to listening to somebody talk about succeeding, listen to him, because he's very successful, okay? So this guy says that IQ is much more important than EQ for good life outcome. Not if you care about the relationships you have at work or the relationships you have with your parents or your children or your spouse.
Or your relationships, period.
All of them.
You know, yeah, sometimes you have to be aware of yourself and your surroundings more so than what's logical.
You know, this guy says used for bad intent, they know how to emotionally manipulate others. If you're emotionally manipulating somebody, you do not have a high emotional intelligence.
Right, correct.
All right, what else? Is it true that Asians have small penises? No, it's not. My husband is hung like a horse. And I don't know why you guys keep asking that. Okay, now you can tell him the Lyndon B. Johnson story. Do you guys know why your Johnsons are called Johnsons? Go ahead, tell him.
Well, Lyndon B. Johnson was known for having a large member, and he would pull it out in frustration during meetings, press conferences, etc., to one up, or just to have a vote of confidence in himself, you know, which is pretty normal for any male to go back to that characteristic.
We just got a new comment in. This might be interesting. Laugh my ass off. Do white women really rely on Hollywood stereotypes to gauge Asian men? No, I don't think they do.
I'm going to disagree, and actually, yeah, they do. Especially when you haven't been around any Asian men, you know, population areas that don't have very many Asian on the media. So I think that is true. So I don't know why you're laughing your ass off.
Laugh my ass off. Do white women really rely? I don't know. I don't rely on that, but I guess sometimes people think that they...
If that's all you see, you're going to have to rely on it.
If all you see is long duke dong. Let's see what else. Pornhub. These guys are so fixated on Pornhub. They're just scared, man.
Well, sex sells, doesn't it?
Earlier, I think I had to block him because he was kind of dumb, but he was asking why I chose a hot, tall, strong, handsome Asian guy over a white guy. And I mean, Like, proximity has a lot to do with who you meet, but obviously, you know, the person who you're most attracted to usually is gonna win, right? Most attractive, I mean, obviously in a lot of ways, like personality and stuff, and my husband was the most attractive to me. And actually, I can add that after going, I've had about the worst year of my life, and I've had a lot of people who said they were my friends, but didn't really treat me very friendly in this last year. And during this time, I have realized that even more than ever, that I'm where I'm supposed to be. Yeah, for real. Hollywood's portrayal of Asians, where do we start? Why even talk about it? It's so bad. You really have a crush on your husband, huh? Yep. Yeah, they want me to do something on emotional intelligence. I'm going to try to come up with that. But I'm still learning too, you guys.
Yeah, I think there's other videos on YouTube that go over that, so I'm not...
Probably better than I could.
Yeah, why don't you just watch some of those? That's what I would do.
Yeah. Are you being mean?
No, I'm just being...
These are my peeps, dude.
Just giving some advice.
Whatever. Back off. These are my homies. Oh, they want to see my linebacker ankles. Oh, okay, that's right. I need a pedicure, so I don't know if this is going to be appropriate or not. Okay. Let's see, how do I do this?
Well, you know, Saudi Arabian Pornhub coming up.
No, you didn't. No, you did not say that. Linebacker ankles. I actually have really small feet. So if that made them look big. No. My feet are nice. I don't care what you say. There's going to be some mean person on there. You can't really be a foot model. Thank you. I'm not trying.
Good night and good luck.
Good night and good luck.